So, like I've said a number of times, these days, these couple days we've had, they're always tough on players, on their families, on their teammates, on coaches, on staff members. Um, we understand that that's the nature of the NFL. Um, so there's decisions that were made, are being made. I'm not going to comment on any roster decisions today. We'll talk about that tomorrow. Our list will come out at 4 o'clock. And other than that, I'm not going to add anything to any of the decisions that we've made until that list comes out at 4.
Jordan Renan.
Brian, a lot of players were jettisoned, obviously, but one that kind of stands out to us is Tommy. You're not going to say anything about that. It's been out there that he was informed that he's going to be waived here.
Yeah, our list will come out at 4 o'clock, Jordan. We'll have a presser tomorrow, Joe and I, and that's when we'll talk about it.
Brian, are there any spots on the roster that you feel like you guys need to be active that you're not comfortable with without talking about specific players? Like, are there any spots on the roster when you're looking at this that you think you guys need to be particularly active in going forward?
Yeah, I think Joe and the personnel staff do a great job of evaluating players. We'll continue to do that. It's a fluid situation right now, Ryan. So, again, those type of things right now, we're still having a lot of conversations about a lot of different things, and a lot of players will get cut. We'll get the list at 4 o'clock, and we'll have discussions after that.
Tom
Thanks.
Rock.
Mm-hmm.
Brian, I know, as you said, this is a tough day, but at what point do you sort of turn and start to look at the guys who are here and get excited about that roster?
Yeah, our team meeting today. So we have a walkthrough in a few minutes here. That's the NFL. So there's always cut down dates. We'll have our team, but there's always, evaluations that take place. Do you want to add this player? Do you want to claim this player? You're trying to improve any way you can. I'm excited about the guys that are here right now, and we'll just, try to do the best we can.
You've said a couple of times this summer that they were a fun group. They were fun to coach, and you really enjoyed it. Do you feel like this roster maybe is a lot closer to your personality and the things that you want to see from the players than maybe in the first couple of years?
Tom, I think it's all about the players. So I'm happy, like I've said, with a lot of the additions we've made and the chemistry of the group. But again, that's all talk. You got to go out there and do it at a high level when it matters, which is the regular season. But it's a players' game, and I'm excited for the players that we have on our football team.
Thanks.
Yep.
Paul Schwartz.
Hey, Brian.
Paul?
Do you feel, you're going into your first season with the Giants with a new quarterback as a starter? Do you feel you know what to expect from Russ?
In what regard, Paul?
Going out there against the Commanders, opening, 1 o'clock, that you kind of have an idea what he's going to give you on the field.
Well, he's been as consistent as can be since he's been here. So, been a professional in this league a long time. I have a lot of confidence in Russ.
Anything you've learned about him, that now that you've worked with him for, several months?
Yeah, I would just say you when you have new players or new coaches, you build relationships with them. I have a strong relationship with Russ. Again, I really respect him as a person, but also as a player and how he goes about his business.
And did you look, obviously his career, you've seen his career from afar for years. The good times, the down times, the downside the last few years. Did you have to really investigate that to see, look, what are we getting here? Am I getting a used car? Am I getting a thing I really want to drive here?
Yeah, Paul, I'd say we're just focused on the here and the now. And he's done a great job since he's been here. We'll continue to work and do the things we need to do to try to be as successful as we can.
One last thing about him. Do you think his vibes give confidence to those around him? That can he lift up a group?
Yeah, again, he's doing everything he can do since he's been here to be as good of a quarterback for us as he can be, and that's what we expect out of him.
Thank you.
Yep.
Brian Dunleavy.
Brian, I don't know if this falls under the window because it's not cuts. Do you expect to move anybody? Can you tell us if so, who to IR?
Yeah, I would say again, all those conversations, Ryan. We'll talk about those, when they come out official.
Okay. Okay, I just didn't know if because that's not cuts. I figured that might. Yeah,
No.
there was a chance.
Good try, Ryan.
I figured. Yeah.
Art Stapleton.
Hey, Dabes.
Morning, Art.
In terms of, Tom asked about the personality aspect, to fit when closer to your personality. I'm just curious from over the last couple of years, do you find every year the roster decisions that you're made kind of reflect what you want this given team to look like on the field, maybe goals you set in the off season? We need to do this maybe differently than we did last year. I'm just curious from that perspective, when you guys have sat down and talked about, where we're going to allot certain spots to certain positions, maybe it reflects on what you want to do with this team on the field.
Yeah, I'd say we have a number of conversations, Art, about a lot of different things. And then, the coaches, scouts, Joe, his staff, me, my staff, and, we just try to do what we think is right for the team and come to a general consensus. And, it's good conversations. There's plenty of them that we've had for, I'd say, a number of weeks. And then once this, once it comes out at 4, we're just trying to do the best we can and keep the guys we think will help us the most.
Last one, Paul Schwartz.
Okay, one more, Brian. Do you feel, obviously you're not getting into the specifics of the cuts, do you feel that these players that you are letting go are of a higher caliber than they have been in the past, that you are sending out players who are NFL players out, into the waivers and things like that?
Yeah, I'd say, Paul, every time you have these conversations and you release people, you have a high opinion of most everybody that you release, the effort, the amount of time and effort and energy they've put into it. So they're always difficult every year.
Would you say some years you need to get to 53 and sometimes it's not so easy, and other years you have 60 and need to get to 53, you know what I'm saying? Some years you don't have enough.
I understand the question. I mean, every year is different. Every year is different since I've been in the league. So we're focused on this year. And that's where our mindset is.